those
Absolutely.
unfamiliar, Eric July, before he really became known in comics, is quite known in libertarian spaces, and I'm sure a lot of our C4SS listeners
Have
and
been
viewers
bullied.
definitely fucking
Yeah.
know. He is involved in the Libertarian Party, involved in ANCAP circles. He's the former singer of, what was it, Fire from the Gods. And he is the current singer of Backwards.
Which you may remember from the viral video at the Mises Caucus event with the 2-person mosh pit.
Yeah, not a terrible band per se, but it is funny that like all the guest stars that they've had from like big names have all been clearly just it's all been clearly shit that he like features that I forget what website it is that you can go to that's basically Cameo for musicians. And like the Attila one is badly edited in. And I'm not saying the song, like musically it's
one of their better ones.
It's the video that is edited badly. But so Eric July is someone who simultaneously I am still to this day extremely impressed with. And hate. I mean, he's a good musician. He can rap. He has good, he can sing. Like he does
live vocals, but that's the game you play. Yeah.
You can't win everything, but like, he's doing politics and all that shit. Like he's doing comics. The big thing is he has been buddying up to the Mises Caucus, and a lot of people outside of the libertarian world don't necessarily know his politics, but now as much, except for the fact that he does talk about him a lot in his YouTube channel. But he's working straight up for fucking Blaze Media.
Well, he got his launch working with Liberty Hangout, the Tradcast.
Now he's working for fucking, now he's working for Blaze, Glenn Beck's bullshit. Like it, and on top of this, he's now getting into comics. How appropriate. With the launch of the Rippaverse, which, admittedly, cool name for a universe, shitty name for a comic company. Like, you notice Marvel doesn't call themselves the Marvelverse. DC, they don't call their publisher label the Marvelverse. DC doesn't call their publisher label the DC Universe. Image doesn't call their publisher the Imageverse. They're Image Comics, DC Comics, and Marvel Comics.
Well, it's named after him because his stage name was Young Rippa.
I know, but what I'm saying is name your universe Rippaverse, name your comic publisher Rippa Comics.
Yeah,
don't name your fucking comic label your universe name. Like it's weird. Like nobody does that.
Yeah.
Well, Eric July does that.
Yeah. So let's start out. I want to start out with what I like about this because surprisingly a lot. His launch has come out fucking strong. People have accused him of cooking the books, but nah, I have not seen evidence of that. He showed us the back end, the PayPal orders. He's got his, crowdfunding campaign and all the pre-orders. Like that's visible. Like he's been fairly transparent with that. People that have been accusing him of that have been like asking him for weird info, like his fucking business tax number, so they can like look up, like they want his tax ID so they can look up his finances, and like nobody's going to give you their business tax ID.
No,
like that's fucking stupid.
Especially
and they're saying, they're saying that he's hiding the finances because he won't hand over like personal government info.
Well, I'm sure he's hiding who's funding him because I mean it's probably Koch brothers and.
Well, I mean, I don't even know that he's necessarily hiding who's funding him. I mean, I don't know that he's hiding that because he's openly promoting shit on the same YouTube channel he talks politics on. He is advertising his comics as non-woke, not anti-woke, non-woke.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Just Marjorie Taylor Greene that's financing.
And But it's very interesting that, and it could be that he is having like a bunch of people inflate the numbers by buying shit, But either way, sales numbers show like pretty fucking strong. I think it was like he's got like 34,000, like close to 40,000 fucking sales so far,
Well,
and
yeah.
we're talking about a $35 fucking book. Nobody buys books for that price. Granted, it's
Yeah.
because he's doing the alt-right grift, the
Mhm.
Comicsgate grift, and so a lot of people are buying it based on ideology.
People will
Right.
literally throw their money at that.
Some of his like shit that he talks about in his videos, I don't necessarily disagree with, but he's talking about like rather than getting sloppy seconds from other characters, he prefers, with changing like race, gender, like sexuality, whatever, as he talked about, he'd
Mhm.
rather original characters, which he tried to do with the Rippaverse and having original black characters.
Mhm.
And it's very interesting that he has talked about like his own fucking, I mean, he's a separatist in many ways and a nationalist,
Mhm.
but he's talked about how he would rather deal with black people in most of his dealings. And now
Mhm.
he's creating like, not exclusively, but like he is creating black characters and talking
Mhm.
about like he's black, like he's putting in some of the black experience into that. And
Right.
then he's criticizing T Franklin for doing the same thing
Mhm.
with her characters and drawing in her experience and creating original fucking characters, as
Right.
he's telling people to do if you want to do that. And it's just wild, the hypocrisy, but it's just, let's be real. The art is fucking amazing.
Mhm.
He's drawing in pretty awesome artists.
Who are some of his
He's
artists he's getting? Is he
You,
getting people from is he getting people from like
He got the
he's
dude
getting
who, I forget his name, but he got the dude who just quit from the fucking Superman Son of Kal-El comics for fucking
Mhm.
the dude who just quit because Superman's bi, but also more importantly because Superman's son's bi, but
Mhm.
also more importantly because Superman's motto was changed from truth, justice, and the American way to truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, which is a way better fucking slogan for a
Mhm.
socialist
Yeah,
superhero.
I'd like tomorrow to be good.
But he fucking went off after
Gabe.
that and he quit. Sent a fucking resignation letter or something to Jim Lee, and told him like Jim Lee should be ashamed because his parents are immigrants, and his home country didn't give him shit. It was all
Mm.
America that gave him what he has now, and like his
Mhm.
career and everything, and he should be more thankful to America. And they're both
Mhm.
immigrants, and their parents got, and their families got all they got from America and not their home
Yeah.
countries. And so he went off and created his own characters in response to this whole controversy. He created 3 new characters called Truth, Justice, and American Way, and his indie series follows them, and they are heroes who are doing their best but then disgraced by the fake news into
Mhm.
being, seen as villains for, coming up short of being the perfect heroes. And so,
Mhm.
that's some bullshit. And now he's working with Eric July.
Mhm.
I would not be surprised if Chuck Dixon ends up working with him at some point, considering he interviews Chuck Dixon all the fucking time. What's wild is I don't agree with the politics of his publisher at all, obviously. I do kind of agree with the ethics though. It's still not focused on workers' rights to the degree that it should be, of like, actually having fucking worker control.
Mhm.
I think Image is the closest to that, with both creator ownership and currently being unionized. But as far as his label, like, he is trying to focus on creator rights and he is being transparent. He also decided that nothing is going to be retconned out of continuity, and there's not really going to be like multiverses and stuff like that, because he wants everything to be like one continuous timeline that people can collect and nothing ever falls out of canon. But mainly it's just the transparency and the creator control and things like that, that you can really see the inspiration of Image in what he's trying to do. And I think that that's really cool. I do think it's ironic that he talks about how, in part of the ethics, is he'll let the free market decide, as if we're in a free market, whether his characters live or die, and they have to be good characters to survive. Which, yes, absolutely. I also find that funny since that's how the comic industry works in general. And the reason why we're getting as much representation as we are in comics is because it's actually demanded. And oftentimes, when that representation is shit, they either have to shift and make it better or get rid of them. Such in the case of like Snowflake and Safe Space, just being a small blip in comics history and hopefully never being heard of again.
Well, if we want to watch the Rippaverse trailer, part of it, I actually finished a game on stream.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome.
And while you're pulling that up, Cory, I know that you, I feel, am I correct in saying that I kind of brought the Rippaverse stuff to your attention? I'm just wondering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
never heard of it. He was like, I really remember him. I think there was just that one interaction of his where he was saying Nazis could be libertarians, because if the Nazis not initiating force in that moment, well, so that's really sound logic, I thought, and I was really impressed by his argumentative skills, and I've been a fan.
Right.
No, but that was really the only thing I knew him from. And then you mentioned this like on non-woke comic company, and I never even. So
I have followed, and I have mentioned this before. I am a former. I've bought the Backwards album on multiple platforms over the course of political development because I am I don't know how that happened. I think I got it on Bandcamp once, and then
they are the only good Ancap band, and they do have some fucking. I mean, they're not great.
Now,
but they do have some.
Are there other Ancap bands?
I was going to ask because I've looked.
No, I don't know that there are. Also, if you ever heard, I think it was this NSYNC cover that they did.
Oh yeah, I did.
It's actually pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Porter Robinson used to be an Ancap.
Oh yeah.
Well, what about Ancap? What about what's it what's the band called? The one that no, they're not an Ancap band. They're the opposite of an Ancap band. Oh fuck! What's the guy's name?
I know that like Phil.
All that remains, yeah.
Yeah,
all that remains. That's an Ancap band, right?
Is he Mises Caucus?
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, what?
Oh dear God!
Is he actually involved?
He also called Tom Morello a statist over like gun control stuff, which is just like, dude.
I mean, yes, Tom
it's
Morello
more complicated than that.
Kind of statist ideas sometimes, but he's actually pretty libertarian.
Well, I don't know if the Mises Caucus people are necessarily Ancaps. They're more just terrible people.
It's wild to sit here and be like, Eric July's politics are terrible, and then talk about like all the things that are still cool about him and his comic label and everything else.
Right.
I'm really happy for him. Like he's like if his pre-orders that he's getting for his comic are legit and like he's putting up numbers and building up a pretty cool little thing, and he could do wonderful things with comics. I mean,
success with these comics could be good for Eric July's politics. I brought up Porter Robinson a little bit ago, and he was, a real Mises variety Ancap when he first started making music. And now, he's kind of a run-of-the-mill liberal, in part because he got so much attention and became so famous as a dubstep artist that the influence of, fan feedback and having that much attention, he just couldn't hold on to such fringe ideas anymore. So
I know the one song of that has Jeff Riggenbach's voice in it from quoting like a Murray Rothbard.
Yeah.
It's from the audiobook that Jeff Riggenbach did. Yeah, it's like really weird.
And I'm not necessarily saying that like centrist liberal is better. But for Eric July having some kind of I don't know, dampening influence on the most extreme stuff might be good.
A lot of his stuff was talking about police violence. Like that's a huge, like that's the breakdown segment.
Now he's criticizing BLM.
He kind of has held this line of like, you have to be anti-state in this very specific way, or else like you're just. I forgot what he called. He used the term Stockholm syndrome a lot to describe statism, which is. I mean, it's more complicated than that.
Can we still talk about? Can we talk about how the term fucking statheist is still a terrible pun, and I hate it.
It doesn't work. It's
Statheist?
Backwards has a song called Statheist.
Yeah. It's one of those like makes you think music videos. Like there's a picture of FDR, and then it's like, because as we all know, that's the guy who came up with statism. But and then it's like at the end, it's like on fire or something, and he's just screaming out this statheist, and it's like it doesn't work. Come up with a new word, please, God.
It's really bad. Honestly, if his comic was any cheaper than $35 plus fucking $10 on like $10-15 on top of that for shipping and shit, I would have probably already bought a copy.
Why is it so much? Isn't it not like a normal comic book? I don't it's like paper.
The price of taking the red pill.
Yeah, the red pill tax. Remember the last Ancap comic book venture the voluntarist or whatever the hell it was? How much was he selling his comics for?
Oh, he never even tried to actually break into the real comic industry to any extent that I know of. I don't know that he was even I hope he wasn't going to cons dressed in that fucking awful outfit.
Well, it was
he was coming to libertarian conventions, but I hope he wasn't going to like comic conventions with that, because holy shit, that was ham-fisted as fuck. So much worse than Anarchy.
$2.99 you can buy a digital copy.
Yeah, isn't he like dating or married to the philosopher?
Yeah.
Libertarian guys with Asian wives.
He is the libertarian guys with Asian wives guy.
The most horrifying thing that the two of them did is a music video called, what is it called? Partying at Tom Wood's house? Or just
we should probably just watch that.
You want to watch that?
Yeah, we need some cringe going on.
Are we?
Oh my God!
Do we all consent affirmatively to going to party at this Tom Woods? Oh God, I can't even finish the.
I don't think we have anything to worry about partying at Tom Woods' house because we're not his tutor students, so we should be safe. So I had to look up to see how much he was selling his for, and apparently the Rippawatch and Ancaps comics there have some crossover art.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that was a thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
I follow the the voluntarist stuff because I met these people, him and the philosopher, at a conference once. And it's honestly very sad to me because she seemed very sweet and misguided. Who's ready for the biggest cringe of your
Go for it.
I think my favorite part about it is that Tom Woods was like nowhere to be found in the whole music video while they were just partying, except for like that one little. Can I come over, Tom? Yeah. I guess.
All right.
So, can we just talk about the missed opportunity to rhyme Tom Woods' house with League of the South?
This is why.
Any final thoughts?
This is great. This is so great. No, I don't know anything about it, but I just hate you, Alex, for making us watch that. That's that'll be my parting.
While you're pulling this up, they have already been banned from several conventions for being aligned with hate groups. In this case, Comicsgate. And they're banned from the comic book subreddit, the comic subreddit as well. They're banned from actually several comic subreddits, including.
I bet that's really good for their numbers, though.
Yeah, no, it is. The fact that they've gotten, and this is the thing about censorship, is it sometimes backfires. Woo, Tom Wood's house.
What a banger.
Thank you, Chris.
All skips, no bangers.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm Eric July, founder, owner, and writer. Welcome to the Rippawatch.
This trailer is pretty dope. Not having to answer to corporate, not having to answer to sponsors and like other people they're selling their assets to.
Sounds like he's not a fan of capitalism.
Yeah, it's wild.
It just makes me think of the Rippers from Tank Girl, like the name of it. Like it makes me think this is like a universe of based around those characters, and that would be like cool, I think. But we'll let the market can decide on Rippaverse, I suppose.
Yeah, as soon as I could find pirated scans, I'll read it.
Let's market.